Welcome to Echoes of Ihsan, where we really get into some cool Islamic texts and try to find the wisdom in them. We're diving into Sunan al Tirmidhi today, Volume 4, and I gotta say, I'm hooked already.
Oh, yeah.
The way it talks about dreams.
Okay.
It's really got me thinking about their meaning in Islam. I've always been kind of fascinated by dreams anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited to explore this more.
It's amazing how this book, it frames dreams like they're a part of prophethood. It's a bold statement. It
Yeah.
makes you think.
It really does. I mean, dreams are a mystery.
Right.
They fascinated people for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
But in Islam, it seems like they have a really special place.
Definitely. You see, prophethood, it's like the ultimate way Allah talks to us, right, through his messengers.
Right.
So to say that dreams are a portion of that, it's like they give us a peek into that connection even after prophethood ended.
So it's not just like random thoughts while we're asleep.
Yeah.
There could be a deeper spiritual meaning there.
Exactly. The text even breaks down dreams into 3 types. It says there are righteous dreams and frightening dreams, and then dreams that are just about our own experiences.
Okay, so what makes a dream a righteous dream? How are they different?
Righteous dreams, they're basically good news straight from Allah.
Oh, wow.
They're considered mubasharat. Good tidings, good omens. They carry a lot of weight because they're considered divinely inspired.
So even though we don't have prophets anymore, we can still get positive messages, guidance, like hope from Allah through these dreams.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It reminds us that Allah can still reach out to us.
That's comforting,
Yeah.
especially when things are tough.
Right?
What about those frightening dreams? Are those like messages from something bad?
The text says those come from Shaytan.
Oh, okay.
You know, the embodiment of evil trying to tempt us. Those dreams, they're meant to make us scared and doubtful and get us off the right path.
So it's like a spiritual battle, even in our dreams.
Yeah, you could say that. It's that constant struggle between good and evil.
How can you tell which is which, though? Like, how do I know if a dream is a mubasharat or just my own worries, or even worse, Shaytan messing with me?
That's a question that's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
There are some guidelines, ways to interpret dreams in Islam,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not easy. This text doesn't go too deep into that.
So there's no dream dictionary I could just look things up in.
Not really. It takes a real understanding of Islam, seeing the symbolism, being connected spiritually.
That makes sense. But even if I don't know how to interpret every dream, just knowing they could be a message from Allah is powerful.
I agree. It makes you want to pay attention to them, think about them,
Yeah.
maybe even talk to someone who knows about Islamic dream interpretation.
You know, this reminds me of a story about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He was asked how believers would feel when they saw the Dajjal.
Oh, the Dajjal.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were pretty scared of meeting him.
Right, because he's supposed to be like this terrifying figure. Right?
Exactly.
So what did the Prophet say?
He told them their hearts would feel the same when they saw the Dajjal as they did at that moment, or even better.
Wow. That's amazing. Their faith would be that strong.
That's the power of true faith. It can get you through anything.
It's almost like those righteous dreams, like the Mubasharat. They're a kind of compass to guide us when things are hard.
I like that. And it leads us to another interesting part of the text, the idea of good character and righteous actions. It's not enough to just get messages. We have to live our lives based on them.
Right.
But maybe we can talk more about that later.
Yeah, that's a good place to pause. We've covered a lot about dreams in Islam and the idea that they could be a window into the divine. But it's not enough to just receive the messages. We have to live by them with good character and good deeds. We'll be back soon to get into that.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. So we're back digging into Sunan al Tirmidhi, Volume 4. And we've been in this amazing world of dreams, how they might be messages from Allah, guidance, hope, even warnings sometimes. But this book doesn't just stay in the clouds, does it? It brings us right back down to how we live every day. It stresses how crucial good character is and righteous actions.
Yeah, it does. It's not just about getting lost in the dream world, right? We got to bring it back to reality. What we do in our lives, our character, that's what matters to Allah.
It's a big shift
Yeah.
from like mystical dreams to what we actually do.
Right. And it reminds us that faith, it's not just what's inside what we believe. It's how we live that belief, how we act in the world.
So good intentions, amazing dreams, those aren't enough.
Not by themselves.
We have to show our commitment to Allah's teachings by what we do.
Exactly. This text is very clear about that. Good character, righteous actions, they mean everything when we're judged. It even says somewhere that good character outweighs fasting, prayer, charity, all of it.
Whoa, that's powerful. We usually think of being a good Muslim as doing those things, those rituals, but this is saying those aren't enough.
It's not that they're not important. They are. Those are foundations of our faith. But we have to have good character too, a real commitment to living right for them to really count with Allah.
So it's like our character is the test of whether our worship is real.
Yeah, I like that. It's about making our actions match our beliefs, becoming the best we can be, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us and for Allah.
Okay, but what is good character, according to this book? Does it give examples?
It does. It's not just talking about it generally. Sunan al Tirmidhi, Volume 4, gives us real stories, details about what pleases Allah and what doesn't, like a guide to what a good life actually looks like.
I'd love to hear some examples.
One big one is treating everyone with kindness, compassion, respect, no matter who they are, what they believe, where they come from. It talks about hospitality, welcoming people into your home, feeding them, giving them shelter, without expecting anything back.
That's beautiful. That generosity, opening up to others, it's like those core values of community and caring that are so important in Islam.
Exactly. And it's not just big gestures, it's the little things too. Visiting someone who's sick, helping someone who needs it, just being kind when you speak, even smiling at someone, it all adds up.
Small acts can make a big difference, yeah.
And the text doesn't shy away from telling us what not to do either. The things that hurt others spread bad vibes, like lying, gossiping, talking behind people's backs, using bad language. Those are all condemned, really strongly.
Like that hadith you mentioned before, about the angel moving a mile away from someone who lies because their lies smelled so bad.
Yeah, that one always sticks with you, right?
Yeah.
It shows how serious lying is, how it messes up things spiritually, being truthful, having integrity. It's not just avoiding big lies. It's about making sure your heart is clean, sincere.
It makes you think twice about those little white lies.
Right. And all these examples, the good ones and the bad ones, they're not just random. They're chosen to show us the core values of Islam, how to build a just, kind society.
So it's not just about being personally good, it's about creating a whole society where those values of kindness and justice matter.
Exactly. Understanding that what we do affects everyone.
This reminds me of another thing from the text about charity. It says, giving charity when you're about to die is like giving when you've already got everything you need, which seems strange at first.
Oh, it does, yeah. But it's not saying don't give charity when you're dying. It's saying it's way better to be generous while you're alive and well when you have more to give.
So it's about realizing that real charity comes from having plenty, from choosing to share what you have while you still have it.
That's a great way to put it. Real charity isn't from fear or because you feel you have to. It's from truly caring, wanting to help those who are less fortunate.
It makes you wonder, why do I give? Am I doing it out of compassion or just to feel better about myself?
It's good to ask those questions. The text wants us to go deeper than just the act of giving, to build a heart that's truly generous and kind, one that actually finds joy in giving.
This whole discussion about good character has been really insightful. Sunan al Tirmidhi, Volume 4, doesn't just give us ideas, it gives us a way to live a life that pleases Allah, that's good for ourselves and everyone else.
It's a journey, working on your character. It never really ends.
There's one more thing about dreams from this volume that I find fascinating. It's like they can show us how we're doing spiritually, the state of our hearts.
Oh, yeah, that's a really interesting angle. It's not just about decoding messages or symbols. It's about how the dreams themselves, like how they feel, can tell us about our spiritual journey.
So not just the content of the dream, but like the vibe.
Exactly. The text suggests that the kind of dreams we have, whether they're peaceful or scary, how often we remember them, it all could be connected to how we're doing spiritually.
So like if I'm having good dreams, that's a good sign.
It could be, think about it. If your heart is at peace, if you feel close to Allah, your dreams might reflect that. Peaceful dreams, maybe even happy or inspiring ones.
So nice dreams could mean I'm on the right track spiritually.
It's possible, but dreams are complicated. We can't always interpret them directly. Still, it's interesting to think about the connection between our inner state and the dreams we have.
What about the opposite then? If my dreams are always nightmares or just unsettling?
Well, that could mean there's something bothering you deep down, some spiritual unrest. Maybe you're holding on to anger or resentment, or you're not living the way you know you should. those struggles can come out in our dreams, making them feel messed up.
It's like our dreams are a mirror showing us what's really going on inside.
Exactly. And that's when it's important to really think about things. If you keep having bad dreams, maybe it's a sign to stop and look at your life, your actions, your intentions. See if there's something you need to fix to get back on track with Allah's guidance.
It's a reminder that dreams aren't just random. They can help us grow spiritually.
Absolutely. They give us a peek into our subconscious, the parts of ourselves we don't always see.
And it goes back to what we were talking about before. Good character, right actions. If we're trying to live a life that pleases Allah, if our heart is pure, our dreams will probably reflect that.
Definitely. It's all connected. What we do, how we feel inside, even our dreams, it all shows how healthy we are spiritually.
This whole deep dive into Sunan al Tirmidhi, Volume 4, has been amazing. We've seen how important dreams are in Islam. They can be messages from Allah, they can reflect how we're doing spiritually, and they can help us understand ourselves better.
It's been a great discussion. And it really shows how wise Islamic teachings are, how they connect our spiritual side with our everyday lives, helping us find meaning and purpose.
Yeah, it's all about living those values of compassion, generosity, justice in everything we do.
Exactly.
I want to leave you with one last thought from the text. It's a question that makes us look at ourselves honestly. It asks, if someone was secretly watching you all day, would they think you were a good person?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Right. It makes us see ourselves through someone else's eyes. Are we really living the way we say we believe?
It's a call to be self-aware, to be honest with ourselves, and to always try to be better. It reminds us that becoming a good person doesn't stop when this episode ends. It's every choice we make, every action, every interaction.
And it's not about being perfect. It's about trying our best every day, getting a little bit closer.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I hope this deep dive has given you some things to think about and inspired you to keep growing. Thank you for joining us. May Allah guide us all to lives filled with meaning, purpose, and good deeds.